Hey everybody, welcome to another Sunday craft time. Danielle and I are here to show you about flowers. So today, they are fun and a lot of people aren't sure how to do them. And so we're going to show you a few tips and tricks. So my flower has a Hershey Kiss in the middle. And so that's what I'm going to be doing.
And my flower does not have a Hershey Kiss in the middle because I am going to do a 3D project or embellish a 3D project with mine.
So my thinking on this is twofold. One goes back to my childhood, and two, with all of this quarantine stuff, we don't have our people contacts that we normally do. And so I wanted to kind of issue a challenge as well. So back in the day, as children in elementary school, we celebrated May Day. We did not do the maypole or anything like that. But what we did, and we were encouraged by our teachers, is to get flowers, real flowers, paper flowers, whatever. You know, in elementary school, you did those weird cutout flowers that you're like, okay, sure. Now, as you look back at them, like, those don't really look like flowers. But to get flowers and take them to your neighbors and knock on their door and run away. So you leave them on the doorstep and then they have flowers to enjoy. So I kind of figured if we A, taught you how to do flowers, B, encouraged you to put some chocolate in it, then C, you could give them away to friends and brighten somebody's day.
That's such a fun story. I love that. We didn't do anything like that when I was growing up in our elementary school. Not that I could remember, but I love that twist to that. That's really cool.
And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to learn about flowers. I have a design space file for you that will be linked. And so you're welcome to use it. It does use the Close My Heart cartridges, the older cartridges. There are a couple different ones on there. So even if you don't have them, you have the ability to purchase one or more of the flowers individually and the leaves as well. So what will you need for today? Well, you're going to need some flowers that are cut out. If you don't have a Cricut or you don't want to purchase any flowers, there are a number of them out there that you could do that might be free or might be free with Cricut access. But the other thing you could do too is you could take a square and you can just cut a spiral into it. And you could go from there. It'll be that easy. And leaves, really leaves are pretty easy to cut. So you could do this whole thing by hand. So you're going to need some flowers. You're going to need some leaves. You're going to want some Hershey Kisses. Either tweezers or a quilling tool. A bone folder. I am using glue dots for the kisses, and then I'm using liquid glass.
I am going to use a hot glue gun because my project's just a tad bit bigger. I am gifting my project. I do have my bone folder and I have my glue dots too.
All right. So if you wanted to fancy up your project a little bit more, like Danielle probably will be doing, you can ink your flower edges before you do anything else. So if you do want to do that, pause the video, ink up your flowers, and then restart the video. All right? All right, so let's get going. So I'm going to move my done flower up to the top. And let's see. So these are a few of the flowers. So I do have 6 different flowers on the design space file, and I do have them set so you can cut all 6 of them out of one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So there is that. So I'm going to move these out of the way. So I'm going to start with this flower, and then I am going to, again, if you want to ink first, and then I'm going to take my bone folder, and I am going to break down some of these fibers. So if you remember the curling ribbon or how I tell you to straighten your twine or your ribbon, we're going to do that same process. We're just going to run our bone folder over the cardstock to kind of break down these fibers so that they will curl. You do want to be careful. These little spots between the petals makes it very easy to rip apart. So, and I am going to go over this twice. I don't normally, but
sorry.
You're
The background noise, I apologize. I have no control over that.
Life is life. It actually doesn't come across pretty loudly, so.
Oh, good.
Sounds like you have a window open and a car driving by.
Oh, good. No, but it's just our pump bringing water into our house because someone decided to run the dishwasher right now.
Ah, fun.
That was me. I forgot. That someone was me.
It's someone. It's me. All right. So now we have our flower kind of like this, and it kind of looks like blah, right? So if you are making a flower without paying any regard to the Hershey's Kiss, okay, you're going to take your tweezers or your bone folder, and you are going to curl it. Let me see. So you're going to do this. To be close enough and in the light and everything out of the way, this is more difficult than you might think it is. All right. So we're just going to twist, and we're going to try and keep this bottom edge of the flower lined up with itself. It does not have to be perfect, just close. And we're just going to do that for the whole flower. So roll, roll, roll. I promise you it does not have to be perfect. It will probably start moving down the tweezers or the quilling tool. And these really do go together very quickly. You could easily sit and watch a movie and do this because you don't have to think about it. You really don't. It's just sit there and twirl, twirl, twirl as you go along. All right, so we have gotten to this point. We cannot curl anymore, right? So we are going to work our tool out, right? We have a hold of this, and this is the hardest part, and I promise you this is what makes it worth it. Hold it up high and drop it. And let it unravel a little bit. So
and
now
close your mouth.
Close your mouth. And now we're going to actually unravel it a little bit. So you're going to stick your finger in there and you're going to twist the opposite direction. Okay, so you can see it's starting to look better already. So we're just going to untwist a little bit more. Right? So if I were to glue this down right now, it's not a shabby looking flower. So now you have a couple different options. You can glue this just like this, and you will have a very tight flower.
Yep, just like this one.
Yep.
This is no drop. Take your tweezers out, glue it down.
So the other thing that you can do is you can completely unwind it and go back and curl each of the petals down. I'm not going to do that. Let's be honest. I'm not going to do that. But I do need to unwind it because it is currently too small for my Hershey's Kiss. So if you're doing just flowers, like unwinding to this point is a really nice sized flower and actually would fit wonderfully in the middle of my other flower. So you could take your glue, add it in there, and then hold everything down for about 15 seconds if you're using not hot glue. You can do it with hot glue too, but you really don't need to. And then your flower would sit and you would be good. And then you could then curl back some of each of these petals. If you are using liquid glass or a liquid adhesive at this point, I would set it aside and put a block or an ink pad on top of it and let it dry further and move on to your next flower. All right. So because I am adding a kiss to the middle of this, I need to make it bigger. So I'm unwinding it completely. And I'm just going to let it hug onto a Hershey's Kiss a little bit and rewind it, which is much easier said than actually done, just in case you were wondering. All right, so there's my flower. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out my kiss, I'm going to keep everything kind of held together like it was. And then I am going to generously glove on some liquid glass. This is not one of those times that I will yell at you for using too much liquid glass.
Why not?
Well, because a little dab will not do you on this one.
I just teasing.
And this would be a good instance to use the all-purpose mat like Danielle is doing, so your project doesn't stick to your paper. All right, so I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes. Let's see, let's pick some leaves. And I'm going to glue my leaves together because I forgot to do that the first time. And just put the glue on the wrong side.
I'm working on my leaves too, and I'm just taking a stylus and creating a crease down the middle just to give them a little bit of life. Before I glue them to my beautiful flower.
All right, now I'm going to add more glue. And again, I'm using a decent amount of glue, which you can't really see on camera. And then press that down on my leaves. And now it's time for our glue dot. Right onto my Hershey's Kiss. Give it a little bit of warmth from your thumb so that the glue dot will stick. And then pop it right in the middle. Voila. And I have a cute little flower with
I love
leaves.
it.
And if you wanted, you could do a little banner off of your flower to say, you know, Happy May Day or something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I have this little frame that I got on clearance like 10 years ago. I swear I'm not a hoarder. Because it was missing the little charm and it had a little scratch right there. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to alter it. So that's what I'm doing with my flowers. I'm going to alter this. And then,
Ooh, that would be a good Mother's Day gift.
so speaking of mothers, mine passed away a couple years ago. And this is for her sister. My mom loved roses or flowers of any kind. And so I have a really pretty picture of the two of them when they were 3 and 5 that my aunt just absolutely loves. So this is going to be for Mother's Day for my aunt. So it'll be her and her sister. So that's why I'm okay with the different sizes. But look at, I just want to point this out for those that are like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to ink. Here's the difference. Also, mind you, one flower is tighter than the other, but you see how by inking it, it takes away that stark whiteness.
I like inking. I like the look of it. I don't like how long it takes.
It didn't take me long.
No,
With
it didn't. It was
like this, it doesn't. Yeah, something like this, it doesn't take long at all, to be honest. So I agree. So this is what my project is going to be. I'm going to add the other 2 flowers down here in the opposite corner.
I love it. I think she will love it as well.
I think so too. I'm going to have to cut some of my leaves down because this one's a little too little for them, but it works.
I like it. So we're going to do top and bottom corner, or top left, bottom right corners?
Maybe.
Flowers?
I don't know. I might cluster them all in one corner. I might do opposite. Maybe I'll do cascading. I don't know. You know, you have to kind of have them all done first. Yes. And see where it stands, because whatever sometimes is in your head doesn't necessarily work.
Yep.
Paper.
I do understand that one.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that you put roses on your box that we did months ago, didn't you? On that hold open box for our 3D projects that we were doing on our blocks. Do you remember?
No. I've already gifted those away, so I don't remember.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to think of which one it was. Do you have yours still, or did you give yours away too?
I have mine still. I don't have it where I could grab it really quick here for the video.
I didn't do any cricket flowers. I'll tell you that. That much I know.
Okay.
Because Michelle twists my arms to do flowers.
Yeah. Because they're pretty and they're fairly easy to do.
And I don't know why I give her such a hard time, but I even told, you know, when she selected the project, I even told my husband, I was like, oh, flowers. And he was like, why? Why don't you like that? But I always love the end result. I'm always like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. Thanks for talking me into that, Michelle. That turned out great. I don't know why I was having such a stink about it.
I get that one. I do.
Yeah.
Well, and Carly, we've been talking about doing these flowers for 2 weeks.
Oh, a while. Yeah.
And I keep putting it off too because I didn't want to have to pull my Cricut out to cut them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is pulling the Cricut out, which I've started using it much more with Michelle's encouragement.
Mm-hmm. Which you love the look of the project. You can use your Cricut. And
yes.
If you have a dedicated space for it, it's not so bad. It's when you don't that it makes it a little bit harder.
So and that's probably why I've been using it more, because now it has a dedicated spot on my office desk upstairs, but my computer's downstairs. So I design everything on my computer downstairs, save it, run upstairs with my cell phone, which is connected to it via Bluetooth, and then cut everything. But it works, you know, it works really, it's coming along. I did can I show you one of my layouts or
Yeah.
you got time? So I did one of my layouts on it, and I made a sailboat that was the full size of the layout, and I've never done that before. I've always just done little, hopefully I don't knock the camera, little layout or little pieces. I've always just put, you know, whatever. And this was the first time I've ever done a gigantic one like this, and I love it. And so that was Michelle telling me just to get out and use it. So hopefully you guys can see all that.
It's gorgeous. I love that.
Thank you. So anyways, thank you to Michelle for encouraging me to use my Cricut.
And now we're encouraging you guys.
Yeah. And we did do the 3D project with the unicorn.
Oh yeah.
That one was on there. What you made a gift bag, and I made a wall for my girls' room, a wall piece, like
right.
on faux barn wood.
Yes. And that turned out good too.
Yeah, but those flowers were a little different. They weren't.
Yeah, they were a little bit different, but they also, they were still Cricut cut.
Yeah.
So it is if you go looking on our blogs for, oh, I just, sorry. If you go looking on our blogs for the unicorn, I'm pretty sure we, okay, well, apparently I'm not making this one. Goodness. And yes,
why?
This happened. I just ripped it, the same flower twice.
Oh
no. So yes, that happens to everybody, guys. I wasn't kidding when I say pay attention, be careful. I wasn't paying attention enough, I guess. But yeah, if you go looking on our blogs for the unicorn, you'll see, and it was actually a file, it's an SVG file that Cricut, not Cricut, that Close My Heart put together for us. And it's designed to be a very large wall decor piece. So it's meant for you to put the flowers together and attach them directly to the wall. I believe it said the flowers are supposed to be 26 inches across, if I remember correctly. It's supposed to be quite large. And so the file is a bit slow depending on your computer. So keep that in mind. But they are so fun.
Yeah, and you don't have to do a wall decor. You could, you know, resize it like Michelle and I did and create whatever you want, really. And the gift bag turned out super, super cute.
It did turn out super cute. It was fun too. So, you know, if you know that little girl that you need to drop a present on the porch for, that would be perfect. If my, let's see, she would be my niece, second niece, niece's daughter. She just turned 5. I believe it was yesterday. And if they were a little bit closer, I would porch drop something to them.
Yeah.
Of course, I would need to porch drop like 3 different presents because like all the girls had birthdays like within
right by each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My nieces who are now in college are the same. Their birthdays are 2 weeks apart, 5 years apart in age, but 2 weeks apart date-wise. And I used to always go down and take them shopping and out to dinner, and just like a dual thing. And that was like a favorite thing because they don't live close to me either. So I get that. Throwing all the rules out the window and doing a little eyeballing. Ah, who's gonna be mad at me for saying that?
All right, so I did 4. One of my flowers got caught in my Cricut, so I only had 5 to begin with. And then, I mean, I suppose I could still, all right, let's see if I can do it. We'll see. We'll see if I can do another one. Or if I give up.
We have a little time, you're all right. So I saw your flowers, but I didn't catch what colors you were using.
I don't know.
Just tell me a rainbow color, that's fine.
Well, this one is, I think this one is technically ballerina. I don't think it's peach. I don't think it's orange enough to be peach.
Yeah.
And then my green, I'm using the front and the back of the sage color.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how I got my 2 different colors of cardstock for my leaves.
I like it.
Did you say for yours and I missed it?
Well, I think as we were discussing off camera that this is probably a tangerine color, just an old retired one. This one, it's not quite a sorbet. It's not quite a smoothie.
Interesting. All right, so on my fix here, I wrapped it around my little Hershey Kiss here, and then I just glued it to the inside of my other petals.
Oh.
And then I can glue that all together. And then glue it on the base, which is a separate piece.
I think it all works out. All right. I'm going to put my flowers in a way that I think the picture is landscape, so it needs to go this way.
So when you get to the point where you might need a little bit of filler on your thing, if you cut some of the like viney leaves out of vellum, it's so pretty.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
All right. Oh. Didn't let it sit long
Did you rip another?
Nope. It just,
okay.
I didn't let it sit long enough for the glue to set up.
Gotcha. Here I am, leaving my ink pad open.
Well, yeah, but you're inking. That's a whole different thing.
No, I left it open the entire time.
Oh, you must have moved.
It was just off camera.
Oh, goodness.
These are turning out super cute.
I really like them.
So
what?
do you have someone in mind, or is this going to be random for your May Day?
Probably random.
So like a random act of kindness thrown in with the May Day twist.
Exactly. Nobody specific, but still probably appreciated.
Right.
See, I should do my immediate neighbors. The downside with that is I know that they all have kids. Okay,
Oh,
that part's not the downside. The downside is I would then have to give at least enough flowers for everyone to have one.
right. That was my, oh, I knew where you were going. So how many kids do they have?
Let's see. One neighbor has 4 kids, and the other neighbor, she's a new neighbor. I haven't really gotten to meet her yet because she literally moved in like 2 weeks ago. And so I can't go say hi. You know? So
Yeah.
I know she has 2 kids. And there is maybe a 3rd kid. I have not figured out, since I can't talk to her, I haven't figured out if the 3rd kid that I've seen, if that's a child that they babysit, or if her babysitter picks up and drops off the 3rd kid, because it's a little toddler.
Gotcha. Sorry about that.
No worries.
My sister-in-law just stopped by, speaking of kids, and brought Easter treats for the kids.
Oh, yum.
Right? So I had to let her in the door really quick. I could hear everything you were saying.
So I have 5 little flowers completed now. And if you wanted to be extra creative, you could cut a circle or a wreath and make a little wreath out of the flowers.
Yeah.
To like hang on the doorknob.
Yeah. I did not want that to go down yet. I was just doing placement. I didn't realize I still had hot glue seeping out.
You're gonna cover it up anyway. You could just leave it there.
I know, but I don't want it to interfere with the placement. Knowing, I don't know. One of those thingers, you know. All right, let's see. This here. This right here. Maybe this guy down here. I don't know.
I would either take off the one on the bottom or I would add more little ones on the bottom.
Maybe. All right, let's see. Honestly, I don't know.
Nope, I liked it how you had it.
Just 1 second. Thank you. Yeah, I just kind of like that one now that I'm done. I just really like just this one. I don't know if it's the blue. And of course I like that with the blue too.
We'll do one on the top and one on the bottom. And do the alternating little one with the big one.
One at the top and one at the bottom like this?
Nope, no, the other side. Yeah.
And then what'd you say with the other two?
Alternating. So put the orange with the pink. Yeah.
It's a little hook, you know, because there was something that was supposed to, like a little trinket was supposed to hang down. So it keeps I can't put my flour exactly where I want it.
You can always add a tiny bit of foam tape underneath your flour and then hot glue it to the.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Or just put the hot glue on the little hook thingy and then set the flour on top of it.
Yeah. There we go. Now I just pushed my flour right on top of it, so it's not going anywhere. Okay, well.
If that's going to be setting up like on a tabletop, you're going to want to rotate that bottom flour a little bit so your leaf doesn't go off the bottom.
Yeah. Perfect.
I like it.
It's good. No more leaves. I'd rather cut more than what I need, you know?
Right.
All right, it's going down. Well, that's not going to go anywhere. We'll put a little glue on it just in case. And of course, they got it right there. There we go.
Perfect.
Good. Yes, I think my aunt's going to love this when she gets it. Of course, she lives in Florida, so now I have to package this very delicately.
The good news is you get little you get air pockets with your orders.
And I have tons of them, so.
Awesome. So I cannot wait to see you guys create flowers. Share them with us before you give them away. Hint, 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 hint.
Yeah. We won't say her name.
And yeah, even if you don't do it for May Day, if you just do it just because, that's great too. You know, and the other thing is you don't have to put these leaves on it. You could do a dab of hot glue and you could stick a bamboo stick on it, and then you can paint that green, and then you can make a bouquet of flowers. So there are so many different options. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay.
On that note,
have a wonderful Sunday.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.